Lord Byron was born a Holsteiner out of the mare Elisa and sired by the stallion Lerano. His grandparents were exceptional jumper stallions known the world over. His mother's father is the great stallion Ramiro, and his father's father is the great stallion Lord, which is where the Lord in Lord Byron comes from. But so many affectionately know him simply as Lordy. Lordy's life was forever changed when, at the age of 6, a young girl named Anne Magnus came into the barn he was living and training at in Germany. Anne was 12 years old and fresh out of riding ponies in the short stirrup division and was looking for a horse that could take her to the next level of her riding. Well, little did she know just how far this horse would go. Anne's father, Carl, had many connections with top German show jumping riders, and Lordy was stabled at Soren von Rohn's farm. After trying many horses in Germany, Anne decided that she wanted Lordy, mostly because of his beautiful big white star on his face. Soren told Carl that Lordy might become a nice horse one day, but he simply had too many other horses to train and couldn't devote the time necessary to really develop Lordy. Lord Byron arrived in America and came to Spring Mill Farm here in nearby Ease. Trainers Dave Pellegrini and Kelly Mullins spent countless hours teaching Lordy the flat work and jumping skills to work for Anne. He always showed an intelligence, kindness, and willingness to excel. He always also had a very naturally correct and careful jumping style. From 2000 to 2003, Lordy progressed with Anne through the hunter and equitation divisions, competing in major shows across the country with her. It was at one such show in Devon, Pennsylvania, where Michael Takara first met Lord Byron. Michael rode Lordy early one morning to prepare Lordy for Anne to show in the equitation classes later that day. Lordy continued that year showing in the hunters and equitation, often jumping way too high over the pre-cooked jumps. This impressive scope is what led his trainers to decide that Lordy should become a jumper, and that Michael should compete him in some bigger classes. In mid-2003, Michael took over the reins on Lordy and began working towards the Grand Prix ring with him. Lordy's scope, carefulness, and above all hearts were what led him to heights neither he nor Michael had ever been to before. The pair were victorious in the mini-prix at Blowing Rock in North Carolina, their first big win together. In early 2004, he began competing in the Grand Prix in Gulfport, Mississippi with much success. By the spring of 2004, unfortunately, circumstances in Anne's life had changed, and the decision was made to put Lordy up for sale. He was sent to a sales barn in the Northeast to get sold, and unfortunately, not long after being there, he suffered a devastating suspensory tendon injury. During his rehabilitation, he returned to Springville Farm. It was there that Michael decided to take a chance and buy the not yet fully healed Lordy with the support of his mother. While buying a horse with a major injury may be a daunting proposition to most, Michael had the support of vets Mark Aiken and Charles Mercer, farriers Johnny and Chris Taylor, and trainers around to help out with Lord Byron. They all believed in this very special animal. By 2005, Lordy had fully healed and was again heading towards the Grand Prix ring. He notched his next mini-prix win at the Memphis in May show right here, and then a few months later went on to win his first Grand Prix win at the Germantown Charity Horse Show. 2006 brought more wins in places across the country, including at the Biltmore State Grand Prix in North Carolina. Lordy also competed in his first FEI classes in Wellington, Florida. 2007 brought some more Grand Prix success for Lordy and Michael, winning Grand Prix in Atlanta and Gulfport. It was in 2007 that Michael began his own riding and training business in Aiken, South Carolina, bringing only 2 horses with him, Lordy and a homebred of his mother's. Michael's business, Takara Show Stables, grew in large part due to the success that he experienced in the Grand Prix ring while riding Lord Byron. 2008 to 2009 brought more success in the Grand Prix ring for Lordy, earning top ribbons in major competitions across the country, including Colorado, Michigan, Kentucky, Palm Beach, and beyond. In 2010, Lordy suffered a potentially career-ending bout with lymphangitis. Through the help of his many tremendous vets and farriers such as Alex Emerson and Kit Miller, Lordy was able to get back to top form. In 2011, Lordy competed for the second time in the Germantown Charity Horse Show Grand Prix alongside two of Michael's other mounts. The last to go in the jump-off along with a severe thunderstorm descending upon the showgrounds, Michael and Lordy walked into the bowl completely unfazed. In what was an unforgettable moment of show jumping, Michael and Lordy posted an incredible clear round, torrential rain, thunder, and lightning going on all around. For those of you who stayed and witnessed it, we thank you. For those who didn't, you can see it forever on the YouTube. In 2012, Lordy returned once again to the Germantown Charity for his third and final appearance in the Grand Prix. As the only entry that Michael showed in the Charity Bowl all week, Lordy demonstrated that at the age of 18, he still had what it took to jump high, fast, and clean against great competition, and he won the class once again. He completed the summer of 2012 by jumping clear rounds in big Grand Prix classes at Traverse City, Michigan. By 2013, it seemed like Lord Byron was slowing down, and a difficult decision was made to retire this amazing, graceful, and sound horse. Wanting Lordy to live the rest of his life comfortably in the big grassy paddock he so deservingly enjoys, Michael has chosen to this very special show and this very special Grand Prix to say one final farewell to the show ring for this very special animal. Lordy has graced the covers of Practical Horseman magazine, the Dover Salary Catalog, and the Mid-South Horse Review. Lordy has touched so many lives in the local, regional, and national horse communities. We thank you so much for paying tribute to such a uniquely gifted and kind animal. Michael calls him the smartest horse he's ever worked with, and he owes everything to this horse. Thank you all so much, and we hope that you will remember not only Lordy, but all the horses out there in the area that may not be able to run as fast or jump as high as Lordy could, but are still special and deserving of our love and our care. We're caretakers for these horses, and Michael has always put the well-being of Lordy and all his horses first. As Michael dismounts off Lord Byron for the final time in the Grand Prix ring here in Germantown, we honor their legacy and career in this and so many other show rings. Thank you all.